As with all tasks, it is important that we first read the task and try to understand what it is about. And then, when we understand it, we devise a plan. And here on the right, we can see my plan that I constructed for solving this task. So first we're going to read the user's name, then we're reading two numbers. We're adding the numbers together and storing that in a new variable. And after that, we're going to display everything on the screen. And let's create a new file. And I'll start with saving that file so that I know that I give it a good name and that the name ends with .py. So this is lecture 3, task number 2, and extension is .py. And for now, I'll save it on my desktop. And now that I have my instructions here or my plan for what instructions I should write, I have them here on the right. So I can look at those and I can see that, all right, the first thing I need to do is read the user's name. And we'll use the input function, and as a parameter here, we're sending in what the text on the screen should be. What is your name, for example? But when we read something from the user, we must store it somewhere. We must store it in a variable. So I'll name my variable that will hold the name that we input. I will name that name. That was the first bit here. Now I will continue to do these two here to read two numbers. And they're done in pretty much the same way as we did with the name. But there is one thing that we have to think about. When we read this first number, as it is here now, it will be read as a text. But we want it to be a number. So what we need to do is to tell Python that, all right, whatever we read here, that should be transformed into a number, to an integer. And it is that number that is stored in our variable first name. And now we do the same, but for the second number. All right, let's take a look at our plan. We have done the first 3 steps. Let's do the next one. All right, calculate the sum by adding the numbers together. All right, let's do that. Sum is equal to first number plus second number. All right, we have done that. Let's continue to the next one. Now we should display everything to the user that is running the program. So we'll use print statements to do that. And for this first one here, I'll do name, and I'll use the plus here, plus whatever comes from this variable that's called name up here. And then on the next line, I think I will use the comma. So what will we print here? We will print the first number, and then I want to print a plus. After that, I want to print the second number, and next I want to print an equal sign, and finally I want to print the sum. So I want it to read something like this. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. That is my goal for what I want it to look like. Alright, so we have some code that we have written. So let's try to run it and see what happens. My name is Andreas. The first number is 5. And the second one is 6. We can see here, alright, the name is Andreas. And 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. Alright, so let's think about what we did. Have we done the right thing? First of all, let's go back and check here according to our plan. Okay, we should input the username and input 2 numbers. We did that up here. Then we should calculate the sum and display all the variables plus the sum. So all the things that we read plus the sum. Alright, so the name and both numbers and the sum is displayed. Yeah, so I think we have managed to solve this task.